A family checked into a hotel suite, stayed for 11 consecutive months, and spent $8 million before checking out. And the hotel considered that a completely normal booking. Somewhere on this planet, there are rooms where the air is custom scented to match your mood, where the floor beneath your bed is transparent glass, suspended 200 meters above the ocean, and where the bathroom faucets are made of solid 24-karat gold, not gold-plated, actual gold. These aren't rumors. These places are open right now, and tonight, someone is sleeping in them. Join us, and let's discover exactly what happens inside the world's most insane 7-star hotels and what it actually costs to get in. Let's go.
Number 13. Belmont Hotel Splendido. The price of a standard room here starts at $1,500 per night, and you get a 16th century monastery. Not a hotel inspired by a monastery, an actual monastery, clinging to a nearly vertical emerald cliff above the Italian Riviera in Portofino. The building shouldn't be standing. Constructing anything on slopes this steep is a continuous engineering battle. Soil shifts, the ancient walls crack under the weight of centuries, and every single balcony had to be individually anchored into the cliff face. But here's what's remarkable. Those same balconies were engineered to funnel sea breezes through the building, like a natural air conditioning system that has been running for 500 years without a single compressor. The pink and cream facade is draped in cascading wisteria, and the whole thing looks like someone painted a Renaissance fever dream directly onto a cliff. Elizabeth Taylor was one of the most famous guests, and she reportedly refused to leave for weeks, obsessed with the absolute privacy and the saltwater pool that visually dissolves into the horizon of the Mediterranean. The staff know your name before you arrive. Private boats wait at the harbor to take you up the Italian coastline. The pine-scented air hits you like a memory you've never had. What makes Splendido different from every other luxury hotel on this list is exactly what it refuses to do. No gold leaf, no skyscrapers, no technology stunts. It seduces you with restraint, with the sound of waves against ancient rock, and a silence so deep you feel the 500-year-old walls breathing around you. And yet, somehow, $1,500 a night for this feels like a bargain compared to what's coming.
Number 12. The Silo Hotel. Cape Town, South Africa. A grain silo built in 1924, once the tallest building in sub-Saharan Africa, sat empty and rotting for decades. Then someone looked at that crumbling concrete skeleton and decided to build a 6-star hotel inside it. The result starts at $1,800 per night and is one of the most visually shocking buildings on the planet. The architect, Thomas Heatherwick, the man who designed the Olympic cauldron for the London 2012 Games, ripped out the original concrete walls and replaced them with 57 enormous blown glass windows, each one standing 5.5 meters tall. Here is the physics that makes this extraordinary. Every single pane was laser cut and mounted at a convex angle, pushing outward from the building's face like a bubble. The result is that the silo looks from the outside like a massive kaleidoscope. During the day, it reflects the Atlantic Ocean and the flat top of Table Mountain. At night, it transforms into a glowing lantern that lights up the entire harbor. Inside, the cylindrical concrete pillars of the original grain storage tubes were deliberately preserved, creating a brutalist, raw texture that collides violently and beautifully with the custom-designed luxury furniture. No two rooms are the same shape because the original grain tubes cut strange geometric angles through every floor. The silo sits on top of the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art, the largest museum of its kind on the continent, meaning guests are literally sleeping above one of Africa's greatest cultural institutions. The view of Table Mountain through those glass bubbles is the kind of thing that makes you put your phone down and just stare in silence for 20 minutes.
Only 1% of people know the dark truth behind what we are about to show you next. If you want to be part of the few who actually know what's happening in the world, subscribe and leave a like right now. Done? Look at this.
There is a place in northwest Saudi Arabia where ancient sandstone cliffs rise 300 meters above the desert floor, carved by millions of years of wind into shapes so dramatic they look like CGI. Banyan Tree Alula is built directly into this landscape in Wadi Ashar. And the most extraordinary thing about it is how deliberately invisible it tries to be. Rates start at $2,000 per night. The villas have lightweight fabric roof structures designed to echo traditional Bedouin tents, and their sandy tones are color-matched with microscopic precision to the surrounding sandstone formations. From a few hundred meters away, the entire resort disappears into the cliffs. This wasn't accidental. The region around Alula contains some of the oldest human settlements on the Arabian Peninsula. Nabatean tombs carved directly into rock faces, ancient trade routes, ruins of civilizations that vanished before Rome existed. Building anything that visually competed with that history would be architectural sacrilege. The crown jewel of the resort is a swimming pool carved directly between two enormous cliff faces. The visual contrast between crystal blue water and the purple and amber desert mountains around it is something no photographer has ever fully captured. Next-generation thermal insulation keeps interiors cool despite outdoor temperatures that regularly exceed 115 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly the temperature of a sauna. At night, with zero light pollution and the desert air perfectly clear, the sky above you becomes a second landscape. Thousands of stars, close enough that the darkness between them feels like something you could touch. This is one of the few places on Earth where the $2,000 per night price tag competes directly with the landscape itself, and the landscape is winning.
Number 10. Shabara Resort. Picture arriving by boat to what appears to be a space station that landed on the surface of the Red Sea and decided to stay. That is the literal visual experience of approaching Shabara Resort on Shabara Island, part of Saudi Arabia's futuristic NEOM Red Sea project. Rates start at $2,200 per night. The resort consists of a cluster of perfectly circular steel orbs floating just above the water's surface, designed by the architecture firm Killer Design to look deliberately like a fleet of spacecraft. Each orb is fabricated from polished marine-grade stainless steel, and the choice of material isn't decorative. The convex steel surface reflects intense solar radiation away from the interior, passively cooling each room in an environment where the sun is genuinely dangerous. Think of it as a sunscreen made of steel and engineering. Transporting the structures during construction required floating cranes operating with millimeter-level precision, not to show off, but because the Red Sea coral reef beneath the surface is extraordinarily fragile, and a single contact point would have caused irreversible ecological damage. The resort runs entirely on a dedicated solar farm, full energy independence, no diesel generators, a $2,200 per night luxury hotel that produces its own clean power while floating above one of the most biodiverse marine ecosystems on the planet. Each orb suite contains a glass floor that looks directly down through the hull into the coral below. You don't sleep near the ocean at Shabara, you sleep over it, watching fish move beneath your feet in the dark. And somewhere beneath those steel orbs, coral reefs grow undisturbed, because the engineers made sure of it.
Number 9. Taj Lake Palace. In 1740, a Maharaja built a white marble palace in the middle of a lake in Rajasthan, India. Not beside the lake, not overlooking the lake, in the actual center of the lake, on a 4-acre rock base rising directly from the lake bed. And it's still standing. Today, it operates as the Taj Lake Palace Hotel, with rates starting at $2,500 per night, and it is one of the most structurally audacious buildings in human history. The foundation wasn't engineered with modern machinery. The original builders used a compound of stone and lime that was formulated to resist constant water erosion, a recipe so effective that nearly 3 centuries of submersion have not caused significant structural failure. The thick marble walls function as passive thermal regulators. When the Rajasthani sun bakes the exterior to extreme temperatures, the interior stays naturally cool, without a single mechanical system doing the work. Ancient air conditioning, built with geometry and physics.
You arrive by private wooden boat, the only way in, because there are no roads, no bridges, no cars. The structure greets you with intricate lotus-filled courtyards, domed pavilions, and latticed stone windows that create cross-ventilation through every wing of the palace. James Bond slept here. The palace appeared in the film Octopussy, and the production crew had to re-engineer multiple entry points because the only access is water. There are no crowds at the gate, no road noise, just the lake, the marble, the sound of water against ancient stone, and the complete, absolute certainty that you have stepped entirely outside of the modern world.
Monaco is 2 square kilometers, the smallest country in the world outside Vatican City. And for over 160 years, Hotel de Paris Monte Carlo has been its throne room. Rates start at $3,000 per night. The location is almost offensively exclusive, directly adjacent to the Casino de Monte Carlo, and positioned on the most famous hairpin corner of the Formula One Grand Prix circuit. On race day, guests watch hypersonic machinery scream past their private balconies while drinking champagne that costs more per bottle than some people's monthly salary. But what most visitors never see is what exists beneath the hotel. Carved directly into solid rock in 1874, the underground wine cellar network holds more than 350,000 bottles, making it the largest hotel wine cellar in the world. Some of those bottles are over a century old. Maintaining this underground vault requires military-grade precision in temperature and humidity. A fraction of a degree off, and irreplaceable century-old wines begin to degrade permanently. The hotel underwent a complete renovation that added rooftop suites with private pools and panoramic harbor views, while keeping the Belle Epoque soul, the gilded facade, the ornate domes, the chandeliers completely intact. Multiple Michelin-starred restaurants operate inside. The concierge team operates on a level of discretion that borders on telepathic. This is where European royalty, Formula One world champions, and old money dynasties have gathered since 1864, and the walls have absorbed every secret they've carried. At $3,000 per night, you're not paying for a room. You're paying for access to a world that genuinely does not open for everyone.
Number 7. Belmond Villa San Michele. In the hills above Florence, inside a 15th century monastery that some historians attribute to a design by Michelangelo himself, sits one of the most discreet luxury hotels on the planet. Rates start at $3,200 per night. The facade, a loggia of stone arches overlooking cypress trees and the terracotta rooftops of Florence spread below, has been dated to the Renaissance period, and the architectural proportions are precise enough that scholars have debated for generations whether the master's hand touched the original drawings. The building survived World War II because the German military chose it as a headquarters, and that occupation, ironically, protected it from the bombing that destroyed large sections of the surrounding Tuscan hillside. Today, 46 rooms and suites occupy the monastery's former cells, chapels, and outbuildings. Each room is different, just like the monks who once inhabited them. Some contain original frescoes painted directly onto the plaster walls in the 1400s. Those are not reproductions behind protective glass. They are originals, and guests sleep beneath them every night. The heated outdoor pool appears to float above the Florentine Valley, with the Duomo visible in the middle distance on clear mornings, one of the great views available to any human being willing to pay for it. The kitchen garden supplies the restaurant with ingredients grown in soil that Benedictine monks cultivated for centuries. There is no elevator in the historic wing. The stairs are carved from the same stone that has absorbed 500 years of footsteps, and they creak in a way that no amount of money can manufacture. That sound is worth more than the room rate. And it gets you thinking. If $3,200 per night buys you a Michelangelo monastery and frescoes that survived Napoleon, what does $5,000 buy?
Number 6. Raffles the Palm Dubai. The Katara Towers rise 211 meters above the artificial crescent of Palm Jumeirah Island, and they were deliberately designed to look like the curved Arabian swords depicted in Qatar's national emblem. Not just for aesthetics, the sweeping curved geometry deflects coastal wind loads far more efficiently than a conventional rectangular tower, reducing structural stress at the base by a significant engineering margin. The investment to build it reached $600 million. It opened alongside the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and it immediately declared its position. Raffles the Palm is the first hotel in the UAE to operate exclusively in suites. There is no standard room. Rates start at $3,500 per night, and the entry-level option is already a full luxury suite. The Crescent Suite was designed according to a rigorous interpretation of feng shui. The 5 classical elements of fire, earth, metal, water, and wood are physically embedded in the materials, textures, and colors of every surface, not as decoration, as a deliberate environmental philosophy. The technology inside pushes past anything else on this list. A system called Compose Paris lets guests dial in a custom fragrance concentration for the suite's air supply, adjusting the scent's intensity based on mood, time of day, or preference. The bathroom provides chromotherapy steam showers, a spa-grade combination of light frequencies and vapor temperature designed to shift the body's physiological state. Even breakfast is conceptual. The waffles at the Artisan restaurant are engineered to physically replicate the curved architectural lines of the Katara Towers. This is a hotel where the architecture, the air, the food, and the light are all part of a single, coherent, obsessive design language. And compared to what's next, $3,500 starts to feel almost reasonable.
Number 5. Marina Bay Sands Sky Park. Here is the engineering problem. Take 3 independent 55-story towers, plant them into the Singapore skyline, and then balance a 340-meter-long platform across the top of all 3. Make sure it holds an infinity pool containing millions of liters of water, suspended 200 meters above street level. Then ensure it can withstand hurricane-force winds. That is Marina Bay Sands, and the nightly rate for a Sky Park suite starts at $4,000. What makes it genuinely extraordinary from a physics standpoint is how the engineers solved the wind problem. Each of the 3 towers is allowed to independently sway under high wind pressure. If they move together, the connecting platform would be torn apart by unequal stress. The solution was a system of expansion joints, acting like a biological spine, that allows each tower up to 50 centimeters of independent horizontal movement, while the Sky Park above remains perfectly stable. It is an invisible dance between 3 skyscrapers and the atmosphere, happening continuously every second of every day in complete silence. The infinity pool running along the Sky Park edge is 150 meters long, roughly 3 Olympic swimming pools lined up end to end, and it hangs over the building's edge in a visual illusion so extreme that guests report a genuine fear response even on complete calm days. The view from that water is the entire Singapore skyline, spread below you like a circuit board lit at night. Marina Bay Sands doesn't offer a view. It offers the perspective of standing at the top of human ambition and looking down at everything else.
Number 4. Atlantis the Royal. Dubai finished building the Burj Al Arab and decided it hadn't gone far enough. So it built Atlantis the Royal, a 43-story structure on Palm Jumeirah that looks like a game of Tetris designed by someone with a $1.5 billion budget and 0 architectural restrictions. Rates for the Royal Suite start at $6,000 per night. The structure is not a tower. It is a cascading stack of offset glass and steel volumes, each block displaced outward from the one below, creating an asymmetric silhouette that dominates the entire Palm skyline. The offset design creates enormous engineering complexity. Those cantilevered blocks generate massively uneven loads at their connection points. The solution was a tuned mass damper, a counterweight roughly the size of a city bus, suspended inside the upper floors, programmed to swing in the opposite direction of wind-induced movement.
It keeps the building stable in conditions that would make a conventional tower visibly sway. Because each block is displaced outward, almost every single room has an outdoor space. Private terraces with infinity pools open to the sky, turning balcony from a narrow ledge into a full outdoor living space over the Arabian Gulf. The Cloud 22 pool stretches 90 meters across the building's upper levels, connecting multiple wings with a view straight down to the water below. The Sky Blaze fountain system, the first of its kind ever built, combines fire and high-pressure water jets in a choreographed display where flames dance above the spray. Beyoncé performed at the opening night party. Michelin-starred chefs run the restaurants. Every surface was designed to be photographed, and yet the physical scale of the building destroys every photograph taken of it.
There was once nothing here. No island, no foundation, no building. Just open sea and desert sand. Engineers drove more than 250 concrete piles 40 meters into the seabed just to create a stable artificial island capable of supporting what was about to be built on top of it. Then they constructed Burj Al Arab, a 321-meter tower shaped like the sail of a traditional Arabian dhow, rising from that man-made island like a physical argument against the concept of limits. It opened in 1999 and immediately redefined what the word luxury was permitted to mean. The atrium lobby soars to 180 meters, the tallest hotel lobby on Earth, bathed in natural light and decorated with water features that shoot upward in defiance of gravity. Approximately 1,800 square meters of genuine 24-karat gold leaf covers the ceilings and columns. Not gold-colored paint, not gold-tinted glass, actual hammered gold pressed onto every surface by hand. The helipad at 210 meters has been converted into a tennis court, a golf tee, and a launching platform for extreme sports stunts broadcast globally. Standard duplex suites start at $10,000 per night. Each suite is a private 2-story apartment with marble staircases, floor-to-ceiling views of the Arabian Gulf, a pillow menu with 17 scientifically curated varieties, and a personal butler assigned exclusively to your suite, trained to anticipate needs before they're expressed. At Burj Al Arab, you are not treated as a guest. You are received as someone who has entered a system designed at every level to make you feel like the most important human being alive. But even this, $10,000 per night, 24-karat gold, a personal butler, is not the top of the list.
Las Vegas builds excess like other cities build roads, but the Sky Villa at the Palms Casino Resort operates on a level that makes the Las Vegas Strip look modest. The 2-story Empathy Suite starts at $100,000 per night, not a typo, making it one of the most expensive hotel rooms on the planet. For context, $100,000 per night is more than the annual salary of a doctor in most countries. The suite was designed by the artist Damien Hirst, whose work is displayed inside it, not as prints, not as replicas, but as original commissioned pieces, including 2 shark tanks built directly into the walls of the living room. Real sharks, swimming beside the couch. The suite spans 9,000 square feet across 2 floors, featuring a private gym, a full recording studio, 2 outdoor hot tubs on the terrace, a basketball half-court, and a direct private elevator that opens into the suite's foyer. The bar is stocked before arrival based on a preferences questionnaire sent to the guest in advance. The Palms assigns a dedicated team, not one butler, a team, whose only responsibility is the Empathy Suite during the stay. If you book it for 1 week, you've spent $700,000 on accommodation alone. Some guests have done exactly that and considered it reasonable. The sharks, by the way, are fed on a schedule. Whether that schedule changes when a guest is in residence has never been officially confirmed. And that uncertainty, that tiny, irrational, completely unjustifiable nervousness is probably the most exclusive thing money has ever bought.
Number 1. The Lover's Deep Submarine Hotel. Every hotel on this list sits on land, or above water, or on a man-made island. Number 1 does none of those things. The Lover's Deep is a fully operational private submarine that functions as a luxury hotel, and it operates completely beneath the surface of the Caribbean Sea. The rate starts at $175,000 per night. To put that number in human terms, the average American worker would need to labor for more than 2 full years, spending nothing, to afford a single night aboard this vessel. The submarine accommodates 2 guests exclusively, no other passengers, no crew visible during the private hours, and is piloted by a captain who maneuvers the vessel to the destination of the guest's choosing among the coral reefs of St. Lucia. The bedroom suite sits at periscope depth, with large porthole windows that look directly into the open ocean. At night, with the submarine sitting still on the reef, bioluminescent plankton drift past the glass in pulses of cold blue light. There is no room service. The chef prepares meals in a private galley and delivers them through a sealed interior hatch. The wine list was curated specifically for this vessel. What makes this the undisputed number 1 is not just the price, it is the category. Every other hotel on this list, regardless of how extreme, is still a building. You can look at it from the outside, photograph it, contextualize it. The Lover's Deep removes that entirely. Once the hatch closes and the submarine descends, you are in a sealed metal vessel surrounded by several thousand meters of open water in every direction, with nothing between you and the deep ocean but a few centimeters of engineered steel. The guests who book it describe it not as the most expensive night of their lives, but as the only night they have ever felt completely removed from the human world. And for $175,000, that is exactly what they are paying for.
If you thought this was terrifying, you are not ready for what they found in the video on your screen. Click it right now. The truth is worse than you think.